Hey, welcome to Sapphire Ridge News. Hey, Julianne. So, we have to talk about this. Alina Habba got sworn in as a U.S. Attorney from New Jersey this week. 10 minutes after she got sworn in, she said, Leticia James, I'm coming for you. And apparently, Leticia James is in trouble for fraud. She fraudulently obtained a mortgage, it looks like. That's troublesome for her, right? Yeah, Letitia James and mortgage fraud. Beware what you call out on somebody else that you ain't doing it yourself, right? Yeah, I love Alina. Alina will fight to the bitter end. People complained about her saying, oh, she lost in court. No, no, no. She went down fighting. She will fight for what is right. And if the judge rules against her, that's on the judge. It's not on her that she didn't put up a good fight. And I get so sick and tired of these people that say, she's not a good lawyer, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I would pay money to watch Leticia James get grilled by Alina. That would be a get out your popcorn moment, right? And these people in Iran, this is the other thing I was going to talk about later. Okay, Iran says that they will not sign a nuclear deal while Trump is president under any circumstances. So Trump said, you either sign the deal or look forward to getting bombed. He said that this morning. He put out a message on Truth Social and somebody copied it to X. Yeah, he's going to green light taking out all of their nuclear sites if they don't sign a deal. Yeah, Iran, now this is what's weird. The people of Iran don't like their government. That doesn't surprise me. He tried to he tried to unalive Putin yesterday. Blew up Putin's limo, but Putin wasn't in it. It makes me kind of sad because Putin will unalive Zelensky. Putin has hit squads. Yeah, he says Putin ain't going to be alive much longer. What about him? Putin has these, I call them hit squads, where they take this nerve agent and put it in a little blow dart and walk by the person in a park and hit them with the blow dart. They're as good as dead. Putin sent somebody to London to take out Alina Navalny. Yeah, and that's the problem. The EU has said after the war is over that Ukraine will become a member. Erdogan from Turkey said after the war is over, they would send troops to keep the peace. Stupid Starmer in London said the same thing. Now Zelensky says, okay, I'm in this till the end. No peace talks. And Putin will turn that country into a parking lot, which makes me sad because my cousin's husband is from there. Well, they live here. You know, he has relatives that are there, and Putin plays dirty. Putin plays dirty. Putin goes in and uses a bunker buster, bombs all the hospitals, then he bombs the daycares. The kids that are alive, he kidnaps the kids and sends them to Moscow to be, quote, re-educated, and they're taught to hate their parents. And he levels entire towns. He levels daycares, hospitals. The the ICC has said he's a war criminal, but they don't do jack about it. They said, well, we issued a warrant for him. What is that? Yeah, Hungarians are good people. My best friend was 100% Hungarian. Keith Bako, Bako. And guess who his cousin is? Heather Kozar, the actress. Kozar is my friend's mom's maiden name. But these are all interesting things. So much going on in the news right now. So much. And Judge, the Judge Boasberg, he's about to be impeached. They are about to do it. Right. Yeah. Them Humvees that went missing. And then when Biden left Afghanistan, yeah, they are investigating him along with Judge Reyes and one other one. All three of them are whack jobs. Also, I found out this. There are 15 judges in the DC Federal Circuit, District Circuit. 5 of them were not born here. If you're not born here, you should not be allowed to be a judge. Doesn't matter, liberal, conservative. If you weren't born here, you got no business being a judge because the ones that weren't born here are a bunch of whacked out morons. Yeah, it has to stop. And I was encouraged by Speaker Johnson saying, we hold the purse strings. We can eliminate the DC circuit. All we have to do is write the bill. We can get it passed. I thought, well, that would be good, but I'm not holding my breath. Yeah. See, the way it used to be before it was a DC circuit, there would be 3 judges from all across the country assigned to a 3-judge panel, and it rotated. The same 3 judges never saw the same case ever. That's the way it needs to go back to. And all of these stupid fucking TROs, nationwide TROs, need to end now. I get so ticked off because a judge in Hawaii gets all whacked out and decides that they can put a stop to something going on in Vermont or something. No, a district judge is supposed to be responsible to the defendants and plaintiffs that are in front of him at the time and nothing outside of his district. It needs to go back to that. And I was watching, I can't remember what channel I was watching last night, and they said something interesting. They said, okay, the Democrats are trying to stop Trump, but he's doing so much that within 4 months that they're not going to be able to stop it. Even if they take him to court over everything, he can still do things executive order and hand a copy of the executive order off to Johnson, and Johnson can make a bill mirroring the executive order, and then it's law of the land. And that needs to happen. When Johnson first came in, I was really hopeful that he would do a good job because he's actually a constitutional attorney. But as time has gone on, he makes too many backroom deals with the Democrats. That kind of shit needs to stop. You're never going to change things to America first if you keep making backroom deals with the Democrats. That just that just irks me. And while, like I said, I like Johnson because he's a constitutional attorney. He knows the Constitution backwards and forwards. He doesn't need to look at his phone and read it. He can just read it off the top of his head. He's fought cases regarding the Constitution in front of the Supreme Court. But now he's turning out to be one of the worst rhinos because okay, why the budget deal fell apart was he had been meeting with Hakeem Jeffries for 3 or 4 months, making this deal without consulting his side. Yeah, Obama is in a world of shit at home. He posted a picture about a week ago. He was all smiles, and then they showed um, Michelle, and she was literally dressed like Aunt Jemima. She looked horrible. And the person that showed this photo that said that Barack posted this photo, he said, let me tell you something. He said, if I posted this kind of photo of my wife, he said, not only would I be sleeping on the couch, I would be sleeping on the couch outside. He said, you don't do this to your wife. And she kind of stabbed Democrats in the back because Democrats were all hopeful that she was going to run for president in 28. And she said on her failing podcast that she will never go back to politics, ever. That she was so happy and glad when they left the White House that she never wants to go back. Yep, facts can be a bitch. And there are all kind of rumors that Barack and Michelle are in the middle of a divorce. There are rumors everywhere that they are divorcing ever since Carter's funeral, and she did not go. She went, I think it was to Africa. She went somewhere else while Barack went to the funeral. They said the fact that she did not go with him and stand there and support him spoke volumes. Speaks volumes. Well, I can tell you how part of how they got so rich. They left the White House. They went into the White House broke. I mean, broke. And then, you know, these NGOs like USAID start giving them money. And I forget what pod show I watched yesterday that said, oh, I think it was Benny, said, here's how they get you. You go and have an affair. He said, but you're the president. And so they literally put cameras and mics in every room you stay in. Right. All of these Democrats go in broke, and within a short time, they end up mega millionaires. And it's because outfits like USAID dump money in their lap. Well, you do this, we'll pay you this amount. Do that, we'll pay you that amount. And they go for the money instead of going for what's right. and they end up mega millionaires. Look at AOC. Here's a good example. AOC. I remember when she first got elected to Congress, she was so broke she did not have the money for her rent to rent a condo or something in DC. And she said the prices of rent are so high, how's an average person supposed to afford it? Now she's worth millions. All of this is corruption. And I had a heated argument with one of my cousins who's very pro um, term limits. I told him term limits doesn't solve the problem. The problem is corruption. You have to solve corruption first. And then, yeah. And she's going after Jasmine Crockett because Jasmine Crockett said that she wanted Elon taken down on her birthday, and and Pam told her, "You need to tread carefully. If anything happens to Elon, I'm coming after you." And see what? See, I lived in Florida for 5 years. Pam Bondi, how she operates is, yeah, she has press conferences and she talks, but behind the scenes, she's gathering information, and she waits until she's got all the information, and then she ruins your life because she dumps it all on you at once. And she's known to be very much supportive of the people. People in Florida love her because she stood behind the people. She said, in Florida, if you think that you're going to come here and deal drugs, you will go to jail. We will hunt you down. We will find you. And see, what they said last night is what the Democrats are trying to do is flood Pam Bondi with so many lawsuits that she can't keep her mind on what she wants to do. And I thought that shit ain't going to work because these people don't understand how the DOJ works. The DOJ has thousands and thousands of attorneys. They assign the attorney to a case, and the deputy AGs are the ones that actually run the Department of Justice. They gather the information and they go to the Attorney General to have the Attorney General sign off on the investigation. And that's what the Attorney General is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a mouthpiece for the president. But these people don't understand that. And when CNN says that the Democrats are in the worst shape than they've ever been, that their approval rating is lower than Congress and cratering, like last week, beginning of the week, it was like 27% on CNN. Right. I agree with that. No CO does anything without consulting their lawyers. Some churches operate like that. Like, I was going to the Mormon church in Florida for a while, and I had a Great Dane service dog, and they banned my service dog from attending church because one person in the entire church was allergic to dogs. And I told him, I said, by law, you have to make an accommodation for my dog. He said, no, I don't. I've checked with our legal department. I'm right. If you show up with your dog again, you'll be escorted to the door. And I told him, fuck off. Told him, I don't need you. I don't need people like you in my life. Have a good life. And I left. And it wasn't long after that, he was removed from office by uh, another member of the church. I said, couldn't happen to a nicer guy, because he was one of those guys that he thought he was right and you were wrong, and he was just not a nice guy. He was just not a nice guy. Just, it infuriates me, all these friggin' moron judges. And Andrew Branca from the Law of Self-Defense has been saying for 2 weeks that Congress can just pass a resolution firing these judges. It's in Article 3 of the Constitution. And Andy Biggs said that on Friday. And then I watched Andrew's stream on Saturday, and he said that he was in DC to meet with some people, that he couldn't talk about it right then, but that he would talk to us about it later this week. I thought, I wonder if Andy Biggs has been watching him. Yeah, Snow White is suing Disney. That's a laugh, ain't it? Rachel Ziegler destroyed that film. Oh, excuse me. And then she's going to sue Disney. What is her incompetent ass suing Disney for? Yes, Gal Gadot come out about a week ago, and she was livid. Oh, the production cost is higher than 270. They said it cost $500 million is the total figure. Like 475 million is what it costs. And they said over its lifetime, it's projected that they would only draw in 90 million over the life of the entire film. Yeah, They do things weird in Hollywood. That's why they got the nickname Holly Weird. Yeah, I'll bet it bombed in China. I knew it was going to bomb. Rachel Ziegler said that it was a love story and that the prince who saved Snow White was her stalker and that he was the one who was out for her demise. It's like, what? You crazy? And she said, yeah, that's weird, weird. And while there's a guy in the scene that's going to get cut, we just let him do the takes so that he would get paid. Said, what the hell is she talking about? The new thing that come out yesterday is that, and I am 100% in support of this. Pete Hegseth told NATO, Ukraine is your baby. We have other more important things to do. We're preparing for a possible war with China. Yeah, and what makes it so epic is that she didn't learn her lesson. Um, Megan Kelly said she has friends in Hollywood. She said no one else will ever hire her. Said her career is done. Well, if China is broke, how come they're setting up military bases in the South China Sea? How come they are adding hundreds of ships to their navy and airplanes? You know, they have their navy doubles the size of ours. Yeah, she's good for the theater, but she's not good for Hollywood. She started out in the theater and she was halfway decent in the theater, but now she's this anti-Semitic um, person, we'll put it that way, that pissed off every Jewish member of the staff by telling them that the Palestinians were right for what they did on October 7th. Okay, but what concerns me is they're threatening to take Taiwan. They fly planes, military planes, over Taiwan all the time. We need to be able to put a stop to that because we have a treaty with Taiwan that says if they are attacked, that we must respond militarily. They reverse engineer stuff and then try to do cheap parts and then wonder why it doesn't work. So I wonder when Xi Jinping goes away, which they all don't live forever, I wonder who will replace him. Hmm. See, something else that China does that Biden wanted us to do, and I was like, no, no, that's a bad idea. They have what they call a social credit score, where if you say something bad against the government, they can cut off your paycheck. You have to have a certain score to be able to buy a car, to be able to rent a house, to be able to rent an apartment. It's like, that's a bad idea because then people like me that don't have great credit scores would never be able to rent a house. And I have a nice place here in eastern Montana that I really enjoy. Have a yard, have my koi pond. You know, there something else that was interesting. There were a bunch of Chinese military age men that were let in across the border that I haven't heard if they're being deported or not. Really. Wonder what kind of jets. Oh, okay. So you're right in the flight path to Brown Field. Yeah, that thing is going to be something. When they announced it, okay, they kind of flubbed a little bit in their announcement. They said it can fly Mach 4, but then they said if we had this during 9/11, It would be able to fly from the Midwest to New York before the planes hit the building. That's more than Mach 4. That's like Mach 6 or Mach 8. Oh, okay. So you're in San Diego or near San Diego, right? I have never been to San Diego. Farthest south I've been in California is near Los Angeles. Oh, okay. So you're just south of the city, 8 miles from Tijuana, San Ysidro. I've heard of San Ysidro. My dad, when he was in the army, was stationed at San Luis Obispo, but that's way before I was born. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I will see you at the same time tomorrow, and take care, my friend. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye for now.